Okay. Alrighty, thanks again everybody for joining. Welcome to our 60-minute masterclass on colds and flu. My name is Aaron Warden. I am the juice doctor, natural health researcher, special health detox specialist, therapist, and CEO and founder of the My Healthcare Group, Go Juice Detox, Vivo Nutrients, and My Healthcare. So we specialize in providing natural health solutions to common problems. I'm just going to quickly get a wire. 1 second. Yeah, today's masterclass is a little bit impromptu, and I do apologize for the little bit of been so busy. I was this close away from canceling it because we just haven't had the time to actually prepare properly and fully. But nonetheless, we are here. I'm going to make sure that we deliver as much as we can available. Okay, as we always do, we always start our proceedings with a prayer. So let's start with a prayer this evening. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to come into your presence this evening. We thank you, Lord, for the information put into me to share with your people. We ask the Holy Spirit that you come and take control of this proceeding, take control of the airways, make sure there be no technical issues, no technical faults or technical glitches, so that which you want to share with your people will be well and truly imparted, and they shall receive it and be able to absorb it and understand it in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we thank you for giving us these wonderful devices and resources to be able to share and contact your people. We ask that everybody that comes today will be able to leave with something new and something more inspiring, uplifting, and encouraging that they didn't have before. These things we ask in the matchless name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Alrighty, so thank you once again. God bless you all for taking the time out on Thursday evening. We're going to really be talking today about the importance of making sure the body is well prepared and insulated against the bugs and viruses that are flying around rampantly across the globe. We want to make sure that everybody has the tools and the technology, and more importantly, the understanding of how to apply those tools. Today is a quick masterclass because we've had so many people have been asking us, how do we deal with this situation? What do we do regarding this? How do we protect ourselves from the bugs that are going around? How do we protect our children? When they do get infected or testing positive, they're all asking, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Because they're calling the hospitals, and the hospitals are telling them to isolate home. And sometimes that is not the best thing you want to hear when you're facing a situation that has been so hyped up to be almost a situation of life and death. So we decided to put on this masterclass to give you the information and tools that you can use to help you to make the right decisions should that situation occur in your life. Okay, so once again, as I said, I am the juice doctor, aka Aaron Warden from My Healthcare, Go Juice Detox, and Vivo Nutrients. And we're going to be sharing our slides with you on our 60-minute masterclass. Okay, if anybody has any questions or any queries, things you're not sure about, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll whiz through the information, and hopefully we'll be able to get through before the 60-minute time is up. And then if we have time, we'll be able to take those questions. More importantly, we'll try and give you the answers. Even if we're not able to get you to ask them live, we'll definitely try and make sure you have the opportunity to answers. Okay, let's jump right in. I'm going to share my slides. Something together. Funny enough, just in the last 10 minutes, I managed to put it together, just so I can grab some key information. So you have some visuals. Some people, they learn through visual. Some people learn through audio. So I'm going to give you some visuals. So if you want to take pictures of the slides, you may. And if you want to just make some notes, I'd advise you to get a pen and to get a pad so you have some writing materials or some means that you can record some of the information. So if you need to revisit it again in the future, it is fully accessible. Alrighty. Can everybody see my screen? Just give me a quick nod if you can. Thank you so much. Okay, so you can see who we are. Vivo Nutrients Natural Health Solution Providers. What we do is we specialize in providing freedom through well-being. Our ethos is about being honest, caring, and empowering. We're always honest in everything we say, And if we do, when we see our clients, and we always intend or strive to empower people with the information that we, and obviously we always tend to go that extra mile that we care, because obviously people don't care how much you know until you let them know how much you care. So everything we do is about showing how we love to really bring people to the highest versions of themselves, especially in relation to their health. So today, as you said, we're talking about how to beat the colds and flu. We're going to give some hacks for healthy living during this global pandemic. We're looking at the respiratory system. We'll talk a little bit about your gut and your stomach immunity. We'll look at the impact of your feet. We maybe get into the teeth, of how your teeth have a severe implication for the levels of your health, especially with the levels of bacteria, especially that viruses do tend to infect or enter the body through the mouth and through the nose. So if you have a high levels of bacteria in your mouth, then that's going to be a perfect breeding ground for pathogens. So let's try and make sure we keep a keen eye on the information as it flows through. And lastly, if we get through to talk about the triple X parasite, we'll get to talk about some products and some solutions that you can use. So talking of solutions, we specialize in providing cutting-edge technology. The technology helps you to understand what's happening in your body. So we ask, your body has a conversation, you have a conversation with your body through your hand, and your body speaks via the software and provides a detailed report that highlights the level of stress on all your organs. So things like your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, your brain, your bowels, your blood, every organ is reported on, and your body makes recommendations on what it needs to bring it back into balance. So at the moment, because so many people are going through different levels of stress, different levels of trauma, different levels of infection, we are inviting all our former clients to come back and get that health check that we do. It's normally $150, but we're doing it for half price for our returning clients, so they can get it for £80, so they can get their body checked out before the winter months conclude. Okay, so that's a quick plug on what we do and what's available to you. So let's look at the vulnerability of those who's most vulnerable to getting this infection, because at the moment, many people are getting infected, people that expect to get infected and people that don't expect to get infected. So I'm going to see if any of you fall into these following categories. Who is susceptible to getting the flu? If you have high blood pressure, you are more susceptible to catching this new bug, this new variant, this new virus. If you are obese, if you are overweight, you are susceptible to catching or to becoming a bottom of this new virus. If you are suffering with diabetes, you are also susceptible. If in fact you're suffering with any of these metabolic diseases or conditions, you are more vulnerable and more prone to be infected by these current viruses that are flying around. Because they always talk about people that have underlying conditions. All these situations relate to underlying conditions that will put additional burden on your immune system. This is a time where we need maximum immunity. We need our immune system to be functioning at above normal levels. So if you're normally used to functioning based on a plethora of different medications or tablets, this is not the season for you. This is not the season for you. If you're a person that relies on amlodipine or metformin or insulin or any of those type of medications, you need to be making sure that you are paying special attention to your health that you're using the medication for and any other related conditions, because any vulnerabilities within your health, your general health, will make you more susceptible to becoming a victim. So this is one of the things I want to try and highlight today, and I'll be looking at how you can start to or look at reversing or redressing that situation in your favor. So let's jump right into some of the solutions that we use. Now, first, before we do that, let's look a little bit at how the virus gets into your body. Now, viruses are tiny microbes. They're small, they're like nanoparticles. They're really small. You have to see them with a microscope, a very high-powered microscope. They're very, very tiny. And just to keep it simple without getting into a science lesson, they require a host in order for them to replicate and to express themselves. Viruses can't live outside of the body, just like bacteria. Bacteria can live outside the body because bacteria has its own life force, has its own DNA. Viruses, on the other hand, they require a host. In order for them to replicate or represent or to multiply themselves, they require a host. And that host is generally in the form of a cell. Just like when you have your computer, you can have a virus outside the computer, but once it gets into your computer via any device or any vector, be it your mouse, if you put in a fake mouse, or if you put in some form of USB drive that's infected, then that virus will now have access to your computer and to your drives and your software, and it can then start to spread and multiply, and you'll then start to see different functions of the computer going wrong. the viruses in your body, they work in pretty much the same way. So our job as a host is to make sure that our cells are impermeable as possible. We want to make sure that those viruses don't have any access to our blood, they don't have any access to our bodies, they don't have any access to our organs, and more importantly, they don't have any access to our immune system. One of the reasons why people are really suffering and really falling victim to this particular virus is because people are not paying attention to the role of their immune system. We did a whole talk a few months back, divisions of the immune system, so you can have a bit of a deeper understanding of where you're and how it operates and how it works to actually protect you in the situation where you may be facing a threat. And one of the things we try to highlight is, if you don't know where something is, how are you going to know how to operate it? If you don't know how to operate something, how are you going to make it work to your benefit? And this is the ignorance that people are, or the ignorance that they're playing on, because people don't know what the immune system is, how it works, and how effective it's been throughout the whole of their life. This is how they're able to make decisions that are not best necessarily to your favor. So we did a whole video on the immune system, and more importantly, the 10 divisions of the immune system. Today, we're going to maybe touch on a little bit about the adenoids in the throat, which is where you have your tonsils, which is one of the gateways to the body. You have like an outpost, like an out barracks that protects pathogens from getting into the blood. They'll get held up and stopped like a checkpoint at the throat. Also, you have your mucous membranes. Mucus is part of your immune system, which they run throughout your whole body, but a lot of them are in your sinuses. And let's just focus on these two areas today, because these are the areas in which the virus is entering the body. It's entering through the nose, entering through the throat. Also, it's entering through the mouth and it's going into the throat. And then at the first place it's going to do is going to attack the lungs. With your immune system, just looking at those three areas, your mucous membranes are designed to trap pathogens and prevent them from getting into the blood. When those mucous membranes become overloaded or overwhelmed with too many bacteria or too many pathogens, this is when you have excess mucus, or you start to see your nose running. Even if you haven't got a cold, you may find your nose running, your eyes streaming. This is as a sign of too much mucus in your body. Just to look at from a food perspective, people that may have too much mucus, maybe people that eat lots of bread. As you can see the lady in the picture, she's got bread in one hand and an apple in the other hand. If you eat lots of bread, that puts a lot of wheat into your body, which causes a lot of yeast to build up. Yeast then starts to overload the mucous membrane, and then it starts to bring additional toxins in, which will then start to cause the fluid to build up. And that fluid, when it can't go anywhere, it will start coming out through your nose, or it'll start coming out through your eyes. So if you find yourself with watering eyes all the time, or running nose, even when you don't have a cold, that's because that part of the immune system is overstimulated. That's the mucous membrane. We also looked at briefly the lung. You have three types of immune system in your lung, your respiratory system. You have the innate immune system, which is the one that you're born with. You have your adaptive immune system, which is the one that adapts to different environments. If you're in a foreign country where they have different types of bugs or viruses, like they have malaria, you're going to have a different level of immunity or immune function that respond to those type of threats. That's called the adaptive immune system. That's also centered and situated in the lung. And the last one, the third of the three, the trilogy, is that you have a thing called peptides. Peptides are almost like a backup security. If anything gets past the first gate outpost here, which is the throat, the adenoids, it will then do battle with the peptides. And what the peptides will do, they will push any pathogens or viruses down into the stomach. So your lungs basically have three different types of immunity. So they're very, very well protected. They have a very robust protective mechanism that keeps them functioning. That's why somebody can drink all their life, smoke all their life, and still live to about 60 or 70, because you have those three different types of immune system that protect the lungs. And those are just three of the 10 divisions of the immune system. So we're working on those three today. In fact, we'll do one more. The fourth one is in the gut. And that's where the headquarters of the immune system are. The headquarters of the immune system are situated in the gut. You've got your lymphatic tissue, and your lymphatic tissues are situated in the gut, and they get dispatched anytime there's a threat in the body. So if something gets past the nose, the mucus, it gets past the throat, then it gets pushed down to the gut by the peptides. Then you're going to have the real cavalry in the stomach. That's where 80% of your immune system is situated, is in your stomach. When it gets into the stomach, it's such a volatile environment. There's so much acids in there that will destroy most pathogens. It's very hard for something to survive once it gets into your stomach. But you have to make sure you have the immune system well topped up and in the right form of balance. So those are the four areas that we're going to be touching on today, because these are the four key areas of the immune system that you need to have in tip-top condition in order for you to A, prevent yourself from becoming infected, and B, to reverse any infection should that situation arise. So you've got your mucous membrane, you've got your adenoids, your throat. That's why sometimes when people have a lot of dust or things getting into the throat, they'll get a sore throat. Or even if you're very creative, if you're a very creative person, you're always using the seats of power that sit in your throat. That seat will become highly stimulated, and you may get inflammation in your throat, which they'll then start talking about tonsillitis, and your throats will become inflamed because that's your adenoids working extra hard to try and prevent additional stress or additional toxins from getting into the body. So tonsils are linked, or they're actually part of your adenoids. And the last one is, obviously, I said your lung. So using those 4 areas, reinforcing those 4 areas is the key to you, or the difference between you getting infected and not getting infected, or the key to you getting infected and recovering quickly, or experiencing what they call long COVID. These 4 areas. So let's start off first and foremost with how, because I'm going to get some questions. Let's start off and jump right into how do we prevent toxins from getting into our throat. What's the first part of your body that has any kind of vulnerability to bacteria or toxins getting into your body? The mouth. A lot of toxins get into the body because that's where all the food goes. All the food enters your body through your mouth. So your mouth has a key role to play in preventing toxins and pathogens from getting into your body. Now, your flora, let's call it your flora, is in your mouth, is the more robust defense mechanism you'll have to prevent anything from going further into the throat and into the lungs and so on into the stomach. So let's look at some of the issues that are linked to the mouth and how they relate to you becoming infected or you developing disease. Your mouth, just like your stomach, has a flora. You have a flora. It's a balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. When you start to chew food, you have saliva, which is part of the mucous membrane. You have saliva, that your body produces saliva that starts to break down the food, and that starts that digestive process, and it starts to send signals into the gut. By the way, this is why it's not good to eat chewing gum, because every time you eat chewing gum, your body starts producing that saliva. It sends a signal to the brain, which then tells the stomach that food is coming, and the stomach starts to produce acid for food that's not going to come. So it's not good to really chew chewing gum. It's a very bad habit. But anyway, when you receive food, your body produces saliva, and that saliva then starts to sanitize the area, ready to destroy any bacteria on contact as it enters the mouth. Now, because if you have a very sugary diet, for example, because you have a flora of good and bad bacteria, one of the things you have to really be mindful of is that sugar feeds bacteria. Well, let's put it the other way. Bacteria feeds on sugar. Wherever there's sugar, you'll see bacteria grows. One of our microbiologists who provides us with some of our live probiotics, I said to her after about 6 months, one of the products was starting to develop some white bits inside the bottle. I said to her, is that a problem? She said, no, that's fine. She said, it's because the bacteria are alive. If you want to revive them, just put a bit of sugar in the bottle and they'll all come back to life. I was like, wow. So all the bacteria need to come alive is a little bit of sugar. So even if you take antibiotics and you kill off all the bacteria, then you're going to start having some biscuits or some cakes, you're going to bring all those bacteria that you killed right back to life. Imagine that. So your bacteria in your mouth is the first line of defense to making sure that you prevent your flora from developing any kind of imbalance. Once you start to have an imbalance in your mouth, the levels of bacteria building up in your gums will then provide a breeding ground for bacteria that have entered the mouth to then start to replicate in your mouth. When it starts to replicate in your mouth and you maybe brush your teeth once a day, or you brush it twice a day, but you still eat food late at night, that's going to cause those bacteria to replicate and continue multiplying overnight. What's that going to do? That's going to now put pressure on your adenoids. So just having an extra burden of bacteria sitting in your mouth and your gums is now going to put pressure on the adenoids, which has already got to deal with the toxins coming in that you breathe on a daily basis. But now you're going to make that area even weaker. So just by virtue of you changing the environment in your mouth, you are now going to prevent or reduce the levels of infection entering your body just from you cleaning your mouth. How do you clean your mouth? Number one, brush your teeth twice a day. Brushing your teeth twice a day obviously helps to reduce the bacteria. But however, I always recommend when you're brushing your teeth, make sure you do not use your toothpaste. I don't care what dentists tell you. Do not use your toothbrush any more than 4 weeks. Go to Lidl, go to Aldi, go to wherever you get your toothbrush from. Get the cheap ones. They have £1 for 4, £3 for 4, whatever you have to do. Get your toothbrushes and change your toothbrush no more than 4 weeks. You should have at least 12 toothbrushes for the year. Because otherwise, after a little while, the brush becomes loose and it's no longer be able to remove the bacteria from your teeth or the food from your teeth. And more importantly, you then start to shoving bacteria around from place to place because the bacteria is now on your toothbrush and you just keep reinfecting it into your mouth. So make sure you keep a nice new bristle toothbrush, even if it's a soft or medium bristle one. Every 4 weeks, change your toothbrush. That's number one. Make sure you brush twice a day. Number two, I've had many people come, they've had to go to dentist. The dentist said, I want to have a look at that tooth or that pain. I've said to them, there's 3 things I want you to do. I'm going to recommend these 3 to you as well, because not only do they prevent you from having dental problems, which you should never have. You should never have any kind of operation on your teeth. If you can avoid having an operation on your teeth, avoid it at all costs, because you're only going to lead to further problems down the line. But what I say to them, number one, is get some sea salt, pink salt, Himalayan pink salt. Whatever problem you have, whether it's a gum disease, root canal operation coming up, wisdom tooth coming through, make sure you spend 2 weeks, 14 days. When you brush in the morning and you brush in the evening, get a glass of pink salt or a teaspoon of pink salt in some warm water, put it in your mouth, swish it around for like about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, gargle it, spit it out. That's number one. Number two, get some silver. Colloidal silver, nano silver, any type of silver. No bacteria can survive in the same place or the same environment as silver. Get some silver. We do a silver spray. And then most of these things I'm talking about, we have them available as well. We made it available because we know it's a natural health solution, but we give it to our clients and they use them, they get results. Get some silver, rinse your mouth with silver, gargle after you wash your teeth. You can use a spray, we have a spray, or put some on a teaspoon or a small cap, drink it, swish it around, 20 seconds. It cleans the gum and put some on your toothbrush. This disinfects the toothbrush as well. That's number two. And it also prevents bacteria from replicating. It stops bacteria in their tracks dead. Number three, coconut oil pudding. I don't know if you know about coconut oil pudding. Coconut oil is a very, very powerful antibacterial and it's also antiseptic. It's very, very good because it really stimulates the digestive process and the digestive system because digestion starts in the mouth. When you do the coconut oil pudding, you take a tablespoon of coconut oil, put it in your mouth and just let it melt. And then you swish it around for as long as you can take. For about, you can do 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. Maybe while you're getting ready in the morning, put that in your mouth and after 10 minutes, spit it out. It really, 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 really destroys and breaks down bacteria. Now, just from a scientific perspective, those are the 3 things that we give people to do. But from a scientific perspective, they have discovered that there's a link between people that have Alzheimer's and tooth problems. Scientists have discovered through research there's a link between Alzheimer's and tooth or gum problems. Why? Because it's simple. Because of the buildup of bacteria in the gums, in the mouth. What is the proximity of the mouth to the brain? They're neighbors. It's next door. So just making sure you keep that oral area clean, keep it disinfected, pay attention to it, more attention than just your pretty smile. It has a lot more to do with your health than just allowing you to chew your food without feeling pain. Keep your teeth clean, keep your gums clean. That's going to really help to prevent levels of bacteria building up in your system. We've also got another hack that we use, and I've used it myself. I was so shocked. I've done it about 3 times. We have a product called Respirate. I'm going to move into that real quick. Actually, yes, move on to the next one. We have a product called Respirate. Respirate Lung Blend is a product that we use. It's all plant-based product. It's all extracts of essential oils. People have been using essential oils for years. It's in so many products. It's in your toothpaste, it's in some of your food, it's in your creams. It's been used extensively for years and it's been ingested. Don't let them tell you you can't ingest them. You already are ingesting them. Now, in our Respirate, we did a whole video on hacks for health and how powerful the actual Respirate Lung Blend is. It's actually designed for the lungs because it helps to boost the respiratory system, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. But the Respirate in relation to the teeth, I found when I was doing the pink salt, rinsing with the pink salt, brushing twice a day, we sprayed the silver, clean off the gums. And then what I'll do, I'll put a little bit of a drop of oil on my finger and rub it on my gums. I had some plaque building up on the inside of my teeth. And I did this 2 times. I had a bit of plaque building up on the inside of my teeth and I took a put on the finger and I rubbed it on the inside of the gums, morning and night, every morning and every night. Sometimes I forgot to do it, but every night I will do it at night. And I found after doing that, doing the pink salt, doing the spray, the silver, after about a week, the big piece of plaque just dropped out. I was like, wow, how is that possible? Anyway, I then obviously realized that because of the antibacterial effects of the oils, it was every day breaking down the bacteria, breaking down the bacteria, breaking down the bacteria, breaking down the bacteria, till the bacteria were no longer replicated. So that plaque, which is mainly bacteria, then just became like dust. It just crumbled and it came out. So that was about a year ago. But after that, I went to get my teeth cleaned. I saw the hygienist. Then recently, I did the same thing. This time I didn't do the pink salt. I didn't do the silver. I just did the brushing twice a day and I put the oil on the gums. And my goodness, lo and behold, after about a week, the same thing happened. The plaque just dropped out of my mouth. I was like, wow. So firsthand, we've seen, and I've used it with clients, and clients have come back and said the same result. The dentist said the procedure they were going to give them, or they had them lined up for, they no longer need to do it because their gums have healed to such a high level, they no longer need to use that. Anyway, that's just another hack you can use. But again, it's showing the importance of keeping your gums clean. But also when you do that, it then allows you to breathe or inhale the aromas, the therapeutic aromas of the oils, which go into the brain, and they go deep inside the lung. Now, Respirate Lung Blend is one of our key products for literally saving lives during this pandemic. And people use it in so many different ways. And one of the ways we recommend people to use it is to put a drop in their hand, 1 or 2 drops in their hand, rub it together, and inhale it. You can inhale it. We say generally take 7 deep breaths. 7 deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, people have such a feeling of euphoria, not only because it goes into the lungs and it clears the lungs, they just have a complete clear airway straight away, but it also clears the sinuses. But they have this feeling of pleasure in the brain. Why? Because some of the particulates in the extract go into what we call the limbic system in the brain. This is where you have your pleasure centers. And when those pleasure centers become stimulated, they want to experience it again. That's like when you have a sweet or you have some chocolate and you just like the taste, not only because of the way it makes you feel in your stomach, but it's the way it makes you feel in your brain. And that pleasure center is stimulated by the oils in the Respirate Lung Blend. So it's very good for you, for your mood, to calm you down. We found that people have taken it and they've been able to sleep a lot deeper. We often recommend that people use it for diffusing in a diffuser overnight, because that way it allows you to inhale the aromas deep into your lung, into your upper and your lower respiratory system. Most things only go to the upper, they don't go to the lower. That's where the real problems are. It's connected between the gut and the lung. So using Respirate as an oil that you diffuse in your diffuser is one of the key ways you recommend for really having deep cleansing and breaking up of the mucus that may build up in your lungs. So if you do get infected and your lungs become blocked because of the mucus, one of the things you want to do is try and get some oils or use the oils either on your pillow or on your chest itself or on your gums. So you're able to inhale it quickly and deeply into your system. And that way you'll find that the mucus that's building up in your lungs that's preventing you from breathing, it then starts to break up and you'll cough and you'll push out whatever you're not able to do quite easily. Why is it important for you to use whatever means to make sure you clear your airways? Because oftentimes when people are experiencing these infections, one of the things they complain about is their inability to breathe. Why can't you breathe? Because you're not able to take enough oxygen into your lungs. Your blood is now what they call hypoxic, which means the levels of oxygen, the blood oxygen saturation becomes low. This is why they put you on ventilators. So when you're able to clear anything that's blocking that flow of oxygen through breathing into your body, into your blood, it then enables you to have a respite from any restriction or any blockage that prevents you from breathing clearly and feeding your blood and feeding your cells, which then can, in turn will trigger your immune system, your white blood cells, to wake up and start doing what they need to do. But because often when these bacteria or these infections come in, it does things in reverse. It starves the body of oxygen, so therefore your red blood cells don't get to have any hemoglobin, the oxygen levels go low, your immune cells that rely on the oxygen can no longer respond and can no longer function, so your body gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So just something as simple as clearing the oxygen, clearing the airways, and allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs and into your body and into your blood has a significant effect on your health and on your immune system's ability to respond when it's under trauma. So Respirate Lung Blend is a multifaceted product that we highly recommend. You can use it to steam, you can use it to diffuse it, you can use it in your hand, you can put it on your clothes. We also recommend you put it on your feet. If you know anything about reflexology, you put it on the sole of your feet. And when you put it on the sole of your feet, right in the ball of your feet, that part represents the lung. As you put it there, within seconds, you'll feel it in your lung. You'll actually feel it clearing, breaking up whatever's in your lung. And lastly, if you have any hard feet or hard skin on the bottom of your feet, you can scrape that off. And you'll also find it has a direct impact on the condition of the mucus building up in your lung. Okay, that's one of the hacks that we use. Let's move on to the protocol that we use, and that's very important for you to observe, especially during this winter season. We're looking at ways that we can prevent you from becoming sick, because prevention is always better than cure. We have a healing methodology called the Hearn protocol. Hearn protocol is what we use, and we've seen thousands of people use the Hearn protocol to reverse both chronic and acute conditions. Even if they did nothing else but just employed the principles of the Hearn protocol, they've been able to achieve great and high levels of renewed health. What is the Hearn protocol? The Hearn protocol stands for H-E-R-N. H is for hydration, E is for elimination, R is for rest, and N is for nutrition. These are the 4 pillars of health, the 4 keys to having good and successful health and lasting health. H for hydration. We spend so much time working with people that are suffering with what we call UCD, which is unintentional chronic dehydration. Your body can't function, your lungs can't function, your blood can't function. So many things start to build up in a system that can't be removed. So we have a process of hydrotherapy where we use water extensively to really flush out the system and flush out impurities and remove them from the blood via the bladder and the kidney. So hydration is really key. Now, another reason why hydration is supremely important during this time, because in the winter, people naturally drink less. Takes bottle of water. People naturally drink less in the winter. Why? Because you don't have as much heat. Your body's not giving off as much heat, so you're not sweating as much. So your desire to drink is lower, but the demand for water is greater. This is one of the reasons why people get sick in the winter, because their body is dehydrated. They have a higher level of toxins accumulating in the blood. So during the winter months, this is the time, now, this is the time we really need to be increasing our hydration as opposed to reducing. Because when those toxins get flushed down from the lungs into the stomach, this is the time the gut is going to need more water to be able to either break it down and pass it on through the kidney, or to convert it into waste and pass out through the bowels. But if there's not enough water in the system, that process is not going to happen. So hydration is key. The second one we work on really extensively is elimination. E for elimination. We want to make sure your body has a good ability to remove waste or toxins building up in the system and able to get them out of the system, because you can't stop toxins from getting in, because you breathe them in daily through your air, through the water you drink, through even having people around you. People around you bring toxins as well. So you need to make sure you detox from the wrong type of people, toxic friends, people speaking negative words. Don't, take in too much TV. Don't be listening to the news. This is toxic. This is toxic to your body, because it starts to inject fear into your body, which has an effect on your adrenals, which then ultimately affects your immune system and reduces its ability to respond. So toxic information, toxic news, toxic words are very bad for your body and very bad for the immune system. So make sure you have your elimination pathways clear, so you can make sure your body can remove toxins quite expeditiously. So we always work on E for elimination, to make sure your body can get rid of things that it doesn't need, especially harmful pathogens building up in your gut. R is for rest. R is for rest. It's so important to get the right amount of sleep, because your body rejuvenates itself overnight. If you're not sleeping, you're not healing. So you have to make sure that you have the right amount of sleep to ensure that your body is able to regenerate itself overnight and get itself back into that state that it needs to be in order for it to protect you and defend you during an emergency. And the last one is N for nutrition. Nutrition is key. Everything is food, but the body's only interested in the vitamins, the minerals, and the nutrients. So Hearn protocol is what we use and what we recommend for people to observe, to make sure whatever you're doing, you always incorporate the Hearn, include lots of water for your hydration, and make sure you're getting your gut cleaned out. Don't allow things to build up in your system, because if your system is weak, as I said, if you've got blood pressure, diabetes, any of those metabolic disorders, you are more susceptible to becoming infected. Make sure your elimination pathways are clear. Do not allow anything to build up in your system. If you did it, got away with it, do not do it during the winter, because those toxins that you're allowed to build up in your system are going to be overwhelming and putting an unnecessary burden on your immune system. R for rest. Try and get to bed by 10 o'clock latest. You know what we said about sleeping. The body's natural sleep cycle starts at 10. The repairman sends a signal through the brain through serotonin that produces melatonin. That's like the body's natural anesthetic. It wants to shut you down for sleep. So by 10 o'clock, you start nodding off. By 11 o'clock, if you're not sleeping, your eyes will start to fill up with blood because the blood is trying to get to the brain to start repairing you from the head right down to the toe. So sleep is really important because it's really key that you sleep at the right time. If you miss your sleep at 10 o'clock, your eyes miss out on the repair. Your eyes will start to deteriorate. Your brain will start to deteriorate. You start to forget things. You start having less memory or lack of memory. It gets down to the throat, then down to the lungs, then down to the kidney. By about between 1 and 3, it's working on the kidney. If your kidney is weak and you haven't had enough hydration, as I said, the hydration during the day, most people, and I'm sure you'll testify to this, who wake up in the night to go to the toilet, most of you wake up between 1 and 3. Give me a nod or raise your hand if that's you. Waking up to go to the toilet between 1 and 3. There you go. That's when the body's working on the kidney. It's trying to repair the kidney. But there you go, hands up, so many hands. 1, 2, 3, I can see 5 hands already. So many people are waking up in the night to go to the toilet because they are dehydrated. It's not because you had too much to drink, it's because you haven't had enough. You haven't had enough. So when the body starts to repair you, it gets to the kidney between 1 and 3. It's looking for the bladder to remove all the waste out of the blood and put it in the bladder so that the bladder can then hold it until the morning when you wake up, when the brain tells you you're waking up, and then it will release the bladder, open the bladder. But because your bladder is weak, as soon as that water gets put into the bladder, oh, I can't hold it. You're going to get up and you're going to go to the toilet and you're going to have interrupted sleep. And that's going to reduce your body's ability to regenerate itself, which is going to leave you more susceptible again to being infected. So how do we reverse that? By drinking more during the day. I know it sounds crazy, but we've done it, we've proven it, we've shown it so many times that the more you drink is the stronger your bladder becomes. And real quick, the reason for that is because you have your muscles that control your bladder. Muscles control everything in the body. But the bladder is controlled by 2 muscles called the sphincter, the upper sphincter and the lower sphincter. If those muscles are weak, i.e. they haven't had any exercise, they've got no strength. So when you put a little bit of water in there, they can't hold it. So when you drink more water during the day, using the Hearn protocol, you take those muscles to the gym. Those muscles become stronger. So as you're drinking more, your muscle becomes stronger, your capacity to hold water increases. Therefore, you're able to hold the water through the night and it's not going to wake you up and give you interruption to your sleep cycle. Really important. Okay, and I said the last one is nutrition, making sure you get the right levels of foods. So talking of supplements and food, let's quickly look at some of the, I had a slide there on the feet, but we talked about reflexology already. I haven't really got time to go through everything today. But as we said, prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. So we ask people, how do we prevent ourselves from getting sick? How do we prevent our bodies from receiving that overload of toxins? And we've put together a kit, we call it the Flu Kit Combo. This is based on years of experience of working with people in different situations with different levels of ailments and different levels of toxicity. As I said, we are detox specialists. We specialize in detoxification of the body and detoxification of the specific pathways where disease starts to build and also where disease starts to form. One of the things that we've noticed or noted over the years is that if you allow any level of pathogens or any level of toxins to build up in your body beyond a certain level that the body can bear, you're now going to render the body vulnerable, number 1, and susceptible to disease, number 2. Number 3, it then reduces your body's ability or the capacity for your body to then overcome or overturn that disease and restore you back to good health. Why? Simply because the level of toxins. So our job is to make sure you have the right tools to prevent those toxins from building up. Number 2, to strengthen your immune system's ability to deal with them in an adverse situation. Because as I said, you can't stop toxins. So let's quickly go through some of these products and why we've put them in our Flu Kit Combo. This is not prescriptive or exclusive or exhaustive. This is just a few of the things that we use so you can get an understanding of how they impact your health, especially from a prevention perspective. Number 1, we've got liquid oxygen over here. Liquid oxygen is key. Why is liquid oxygen key? Because what do we breathe? Oxygen. What do we have when we have COVID or any of those conditions? Lack of oxygen. It's a respiratory condition. So your oxygen pathways in the body are blocked. Your lungs are blocked. Then your blood is not able to receive a constant flow of oxygen. So the first thing we do is help to increase the oxygen levels in the blood. How do we do that? By using liquid oxygen. Liquid oxygen is very, very, very effective because it puts liquid oxygen, it's got 2 oxygen cells. So the blood takes the oxygen up very quickly. and it starts to increase the oxygen. You start feeling quite alert and quite alive pretty much straight away. Because it's very potent, we only use drops. You only use small drops. You start with 10 drops in the morning on an empty stomach because it's such a powerful antioxidant. You start with 10 drops in the morning in what we say, always recommend people to do 500 mils of water, like one of these, 500 mils of water. We recommend to take 500 mils of water. Why? Because your blood is going to use that to then absorb it into the body, to take the nutrients in, the oxygen in, and to push the impurities out. If there's no water, it's like when you've got a bath with water just sitting in it, it just becomes stagnant. The water's not going anywhere, it's just moving around. As more and more dirt accumulates, it then starts to block up the arteries. So you need to have the hydration to cause every part of the body to function as it should. So liquid oxygen is number one, and very, very key, with multi functions and multi benefits, just from having it on a daily basis. We've seen people that exercise, they say they have more stamina. People that have brain fog, they have more alertness in the brain. There's so many things that the liquid oxygen does that it's just too many to mention. Then we have our respirate, as we mentioned earlier. Respirate is a lung blend that we made of all the essential oils, the plant-based extracts that generally we say to put in your diffuser and just inhale the aromas. But as we said, you get multi uses out of that one simple bottle. As I said, again, because it's so potent, you only use drops. And those drops will go, a little drop will go a very, very long way because they're very, very concentrated with the antioxidants and the antibacterials, the antivirals. There have been so many studies that have been published on how effective these are at combating viruses and bacteria. So respirate, you can look at, these are all on the website. As you go to the website, vivonutrients.com, you'll see them all there. It's a very, very powerful product. You'll see all the reviews, you see the testimonials, so many testimonials. People have even used it for their cat. They've used it for their dog, they've used it for the animal, they've used it for babies, people have had asthma, they've had hay fever. Just put in a few drops in the diffuser. People that snore overnight, they have to stop snoring completely because it's cleared the airways. It's completely cleared the airways and completely cleared the lung. Then we have our baby. This is one of our favorite products, flu drops. I don't even know if you can call it the right name, but it's called flu drops. People believe that you have to have flu to take flu drops. No. Flu drops is what we call a prophylactic. It means it's something that you do to prevent yourself from getting flu. Flu drops is, the reason why flu drops is so special is because it's what it's composed of. It's composed again of plant-based extracts. It's all plant extracts, but they're in an oil form, which means it's fat. So the body absorbs fat quicker than it will absorb water. So the cells will welcome the ingredients in flu drops. Why? Because flu drops has things like hemp seed oil. That's the base, the carrier oil, hemp seed. The hemp seed is full of the omega-3 and omega-6. It's powerful anti-inflammatories. It has so many benefits for the brain, omega-3, omega-6, good for the brain, and it's in that perfect ratio. Just to give you a quick summary of some of the ingredients in there. Everybody knows about garlic. Garlic is a powerful antibiotic. It's nature's antibiotic. It's rich in garlic. So the blood, when it receives that garlic, it will prevent any bacteria from multiplying just from the presence of garlic in the blood, because garlic it has such powerful antibiotic properties, antibacterial properties, it literally stops them dead in their tracks. Then it also has ginger. Ginger has the powerful gingerol, and these are all backed up by studies. You can go on PubMed, look it up, effects of ginger or gingerol on bacteria or effects of ginger on viruses, and it will tell you. They've shown the studies, they've done the test, they've published it, it's peer reviewed. This is scientific data. These are scientifically proven to do what they're designed to do. Then it has cloves. Again, when a baby has problems with their gums, what they give them? Cloves. You put the clove oil, or I forgot the name of it, but they use the thing they use for babies when they're young. It's made of cloves to stop the gums from bleeding when they're starting to teeth. It's because bacteria is there and the teeth are pushing through, so it's kind of caused a bit of inflammation in the gum. So they put, I'm trying to remember the name of that product that they use for babies when the babies are having a little bit of a cold. Anyway, that's the product. Clove is very, very powerful. Again, it's proven, scientifically proven to combat bacteria at source. So then just the whole combination of those working synergistically together, it prevents you from getting sick. If you were to get sick, it helps you to recover 10 times faster because you've got some real powerhouses coming into the blood and going straight into the bloodstream, because all you do, you take a drop and you hold it under your tongue and it starts to absorb through the hippocampus. So it gets into the blood very quickly. One of our doctors, we had a doctor that we gave some to, and I've had my phone, I'll read his testimony. He said he's a very well-renowned doctor. Probably a lot of you know him, but I won't give his name. But he sent me a text this morning saying he used the flu drops and he suffers with chronic laryngitis. He said within 10 minutes of him taking the flu drops, he started to feel a clarity in his brain, number one, because obviously we said it kills all the bacteria in the mouth, so he felt it in the brain. Then he said he felt a feeling of clearness in his chest, because he suffers with that chronic laryngitis, because he's always talking. He spends about 4 or 5 hours on the radio every week, so he's always talking. He's got a very deep and gravel voice. His throat is obviously, dealing with whatever issue it is that's been a result of these years and years of speaking and obviously seeing clients on a day-to-day basis. But he said his laryngitis, it really subsided. The pain and the discomfort subsided almost instantaneously. That's within 10 minutes. Why did it happen so quickly? Because these products are designed to go into the blood very quickly and start to stimulate the immune system, start to stimulate the white blood cells, start to stimulate the phagocytes and neutrocytes and neutrophils to get to the place of inflammation and start to work on those areas and start to break down the pathogens that have been accumulating in those areas and do it very quickly. Then we have our King OxyFlush. OxyFlush is a world-renowned product. Why is OxyFlush so world-renowned? It's one of our top-selling products. Why? Jacinth, let me just move. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to try and get some time for questions. I'm going to finish in about 5 minutes, hopefully. OxyFlush, why is OxyFlush so good? Because 80% of our immune system is situated in the gut. 80% is situated in the gut. So when you do get sick, the viruses will get into your gut. And what we've discovered, now this is through my research, and I've just been so blown away with what I've discovered and how I've seen things change through the application of these methods. These viruses, when they get into the body, one of the reasons why people have not been able to respond or overcome it using the conventional methods is because we discovered that the virus, when it gets into the mucous membrane, these are not ordinary viruses, these are RNA viruses. They're programmed to send messages through the signals of the body and get to specific places so they can replicate and clone those cells and take them over and start to multiply in the body. But we've discovered that reason why most people can't recover very quickly is because most of this replication is taking place in the gut. Yes, of course, it starts in the mucous membrane when it goes into the nose. Yes, it starts to attack and overpower and overwhelm the adenoids and the tonsils. Yes, it overpowers the 3 different types of immune system in the lungs. But what do? They push the virus down into the gut, and that's exactly where it wants to be, like a Trojan horse. And what we found that it's been doing is that it's been multiplying in the gut. How's it doing that? Because it takes over what you call the ACE2 receptors. Viruses they have an affinity for these ACE2 receptors. These are receptors in the gut that receive viruses. They're like, you have ACE, APCs. APCs are what you call antigen presenter cells. What these antigen presenter cells do, and I'm going to come to the ACE in a second. Antigen presenter cells, they'll receive a virus or a pathogen or any foreign entity or item into the body. They will take a small sample of it and they will then present that to the immune system. These antigen, they take the antigen, a small part of it, and present it to the immune system. When they present it to the immune system will say, right, this type of pathogen, we are going to need some phagocytes, we're going to need some neutrophils, we need some white blood cells to attack it. And they will then mount a response to go and bring the right soldiers to deal with that particular threat. And once they've dealt with the threat, they will then tag it, bag it, and make a note of that. So next time they see that threat, they know what to do. Yeah? Now, guess what mechanism is also designed to do that? Vaccines. What does a vaccine do? It introduces a small amount of the particular virus or viral or antigen into the body. So the body then is supposed to get used to it. Sometimes they say it's inactivated. Then the body is supposed to receive this antigen. Then as a result of what it's received, it will then start to develop or mount a response, i.e. the same way it goes to the council, the immune system council says, council, this is the latest threat. How do we deal with this threat? Then the body will then produce its own soldiers and army and dispatch them to that particular site, deal with that particular pathogen, and then you will say you have immunity. Now, if the body already has its APCs, but because most people don't know you already have APCs, you think you need a vaccine in order for you to trigger that process. But your body's been doing that for years. It's called your innate immune system. You're born with it. That's why children can walk around in the house, pick up dirt, put it in their mouth, even swallow it, and they're not going to die. Why? Because the APCs will pick up that pathogen, present it to the council and say, hey, we've got a new threat, guys. How do we deal with this? And it will mount a response. And then you have what we call immunity, or you have antibodies. You now have antibodies to that particular threat or that particular infection. So your body is already designed naturally from birth to deal with incoming threats. That's just a little bit of information just for you to chew on that as you're going forward and making decisions. Now, this vaccine or this virus, it then gets into the gut and it takes over the pathogens in the gut and it starts to replicate inside the gut. Now, while it's replicating inside the gut, whatever is in the gut gets into the rest of the blood, it gets into the rest of the system. And when it gets into the system, those infected cells will now start to infect other organs. And this is when it starts to reap havoc all across the body. What are we doing in the meantime? We're taking Lemsip, we're doing lemons, we're steaming our head, we're trying to deal with the nose, we're trying to deal with the throat. But where's the breeding ground? The breeding ground is in the gut. That's why the steam would only provide you light relief, if any at all, because the real area that you need to get to is the gut. So we use Oxyflush extensively to cleanse the gut. So when you get a cold or flu, don't bother wasting your time trying to deal with the symptoms of the nose, because that's the mucous membrane overwhelmed, because all the pathogens that have come out the gut, getting into the bloodstream. Go to the source. Go to the gut. Boost your immunity, your lymphatic tissues, which are all situated in the gut. That's where the council of your body are. They sit in the gut. Over 80%. Look it up, research it, wherever, Google it, Wikipedia, wherever you want to go. You will see that 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So if you want to get your immune system working, cleanse the gut. Number one, cleanse the gut first, then deal with everything else afterwards. So if you want to prevent yourself from getting sick, don't allow things to build up in your system. Make sure you purge. What did our ancestors, our elders and our aunties and our uncles and our grandfathers used to make us do every 6-week holidays? Purge. Remember? Every 6 weeks, you used to have to do wash out. Using some, I don't know, nasty things or bitters or whatever. We didn't like it, but it became a traumatic experience. And a lot of us didn't enjoy it. So we opted out for that to start taking pills and, you know, these fancy modern medicines. But we have to go back to basics. We have to go back to cleansing. We have to go back to purging. That's the best and only way to keep your system in tip-top condition, especially when it comes to your immune system. So that's the Oxyflush. Then we have the Ultra Detox. My goodness, I love Ultra Detox. Ultra Detox is so underrated and so understated, but it does so many things. It has all your powerful, and these are all liquids, by the way, so they get into the body and the blood very quickly. The Ultra Detox is so powerful. It has all your antibacterials, your antivirals, antiseptics. It has your antiparasitics. Antiparasitics. I'm going to let you into a quick secret. Antiparasitics are one of the most powerful tools you can use against this pandemic, against this virus. Why? Scientifically, I don't know if you know this. I'm going to make it really simple. All of the most powerful natural remedies that they've used or developed over the world against COVID, I call it COVID, have all been antiparasitics. What is hydroquinone? It's antiparasitic. What is ivermectin? It's antiparasitic. What is COVID Organics, the one the guy made in Madagascar? It's antiparasitic. So anything that deals with parasites or is antiparasitic also is anti-COVID. It's anti-COVID. Why? Because the parasites use the same pathway that this virus uses to get around the body. Most people don't know they have parasites. They know they have the cravings. Late at night, you want to eat biscuits, sweets, chocolate. You know you have the cravings, but you don't know why. That's because these parasites, these worms, pinworms, hookworms, they're moving around your body very, very quietly, causing a lot of problems. Now, they're part of your microbiome, don't get me wrong. They're part of your system, of your ecology of your body, but you have to keep them in balance. Don't let them overgrow. Don't let them have overgrowth. But these most powerful medicines are all antiparasitics. And people that take them, they say within 7 days or within 3 days, within 5 days, they are making complete recoveries. And they've been trying to stop people from taking this. And Ultra Detox is full of some really powerful antiparasitics. So when people use Ultra Detox and any combination with these products, they're going to get results so much quicker. I wish I had time to do some testimonials, but people will see how quickly they've seen, or they will hear how quickly people have used these products and they've been able to turn around their situation very, very quickly. And lastly, we have Total Food. Total Food is another favorite of mine because it contains elixir of life, and it also has a lot of really powerful gut microbes and gut prebiotics that help to really populate the gut, to strengthen the gut's ability to repair itself. It provides the prebiotics, which are the food that the probiotics use to feed themselves so they can multiply, so you can overturn that balance or that imbalance into becoming more of a balance, so you can have a more of a healthy gut flora, which will then feed your immune system and feed your immune cells to then serve you and strengthen you when you're facing an attack. So Total Food is a very, very good product. It has, I don't know if you know a thing called Triphala. Triphala is the 3 fruits. Oh my God, they're so, so powerful. So, so powerful. Powerful antioxidants. They help with your blood sugar, they help with your brain, they help with your inflammation, they help with collagen. It's got elixir of life. Elixir of life is a natural anti-heavy metal. It collects all the heavy metals and really helps to chelate them and chuck them out of the body. Heavy metals also place a huge burden on your liver, on your kidney, and these are the powerful parts of the body that help to clean the blood. So the overall combo, they really work to strengthen your immune system on multiple fronts. You have the liquid oxygen, which helps to put more oxygen in your blood. You have the respirate, which really helps with your sinuses, because that's the first line of defense, your mucous membrane in your sinuses, in your nose, also your throat, your adenoids. You got the flu drops that go everywhere because it gets into the blood and it gets directly into the cells. You've got oxyflush that prevents toxins from building up in your gut and overwhelming your immune system, where most of it is situated in the gut. Then you have the ultra detox that really supports your liver, it supports the kidney because it's got milk thistle in there, it's got curcumin, it's got your turmeric, it's got your black pepper, it's got all your dandelion, your burdock, all the things that you know are good for the blood. They're all combined in this very powerful thing. Then you've got some antiparasitics. My goodness. When they go to work on the body, we've seen amazing results in a very short space of time. And then also we have the total food. So those are some of the products that we use to really help to offset and bring the body back into order when the body is being overwhelmed or overpowered by a threat. But we especially recommend that people use it prophylactically. Don't wait till you get sick. Try, and be preventive. Okay, I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to quickly have a look through the chat. If anybody's got any questions, I hope people have gone through. Oh, there you go, Liquid of Life. I'm going to have a look through the chat. If anyone's got any questions, what I may do is I may stop the recording at 9 so we can maybe keep it to an hour, and then we'll go through the questions. Now, if anybody got any questions to ask, let's take them now. What I'll do, I'll go through the chat quickly first. I'm sure that our admin has been going through them as well and answering someone. Thank you for taking the time out to put on this webinar to help support our people. I have shared the link with many people. Thank you so much. God bless you. I have just lost my mother and almost died myself at the same time. I would love to stay and listen. However, I am having a bit of an emotional time and cannot focus. Would it be possible to have a copy of this meeting, please? Absolutely, and this is why we want to keep it to an hour so it doesn't, overload your system when you listen to it back. I'll send it to your email. I've got your email address. Thank you so much, Trisha. My commiseration, apologies for the loss of your mum. May the Lord comfort you and give you peace on all sides. I use it. I use it all the time. Rubbed it over my body this morning as limbs were aching and diffused it every night. Yes, it also is very good as an analgesic. It's very good for dealing with pain. That's the respirate lung vein. It helps with pain because it just gets to the source of the inflammation and breaks it down. P.S. If this is a product that you sell or have the opportunity of others to sell, i.e. MLM, network marketing, I would like to know more, as I am very much into natural health remedies. I'll definitely give you some details. I'll send you some details of that. We are thinking of doing actually, but we're just toying with the idea. I put it in my face steamer last night. It was great. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Oh yeah, Marilyn's an avid user of the respirate. Do you have questions? Okay, I put my hand up to working. Okay, do you wake up to go to the toilet? As soon as I took flu drops, my symptoms improved. Wow, and she only had it for like 1 day. Parsons powder. So, okay. Bonjela, that's it. No, that's Bonjela. There's another one. There's another one. I think it's Calpol or Calpol. That's the one. Calpol is one they used to use to deal with the children when they were having tooth problems. Oxyflush is my lifesaver. Thank you so much, Gregoria. Claudette says, I give to my daughter every day as she is a teacher, as the children always have colds. Yes, it prevents you from getting infected by what other people are carrying. But we have another product that, I've had time. We have a product called Uplift. This product is something you can carry around with you. If you are in an area where you feel a bit vulnerable, where people are coughing or they're sneezing, you simply spray one burst, because it's concentrated oils. It diffuses and it destroys any bacteria in the air around you on contact. It's like you create your own little bubble, just one spray above your head, let it drop down. Close your eyes because it is pure oils. It cleans the air and it clears your nose and your sinuses in your throat. You can even put a drop in your mask, just a tiny drop in the mask, and you'll be breathing it in all day. It'll be clearing your throat as you're going along. The body is amazing, it is indeed. Denise, tested positive yesterday, started with Ultra Detox and Respirate and SOS, broke the fever straight away. Wow. Ordering the other items right now. I love that. Tested positive yesterday. And this is the thing what we're trying to teach them. Don't wait to go through that whole 7 days or 14 days. You can turn the situation around in 3 days. 3 days. That's what we said today. We're going to tell you how you can deal with it in 3 days. And just seeing that one quick testimony, she tested positive yesterday. Obviously, she's going for the symptoms. Started with the Ultra Detox, dealing with the stomach, the gut. Then she took the Respirate, which deals with the sinuses, the throat, and the blood. And she took the SOS that flushes out all the blood and kills viruses or pathogens at source in the blood, and she said it broke the fever straight away. Thank you so much, Denise. We'll get your other products to you from tomorrow. Right, yes, as all illness begins in the gut. Yep, very, very true. I ordered all my Oxyflash and it has helped, along with the other products. Bitters, yeah, bitters, wash out. It's all about the wash out. Bitters, Cenapod, yeah, all of those. And seriously, yeah, all of those are very good. Liquid of Life, very good. Used to hate them, but they're vital for the body right now. Absolutely. Will the recording be available as I had problems with Wi-Fi? Yes, it will be, Sonia. Sending love and light, my condolences, absolutely, for the person that lost their mother. I had my tonsils and adenoids removed at an early age. Now I'm vulnerable. You're not vulnerable because you still have other parts of your immune system. Your tonsils have gone, but you still have your peptides, you have your innate immune system, and you have your adaptive immune system. The immune system has 10 divisions across the body. So there's so many ways that your body will be protected. So don't let them tell you to remove any item, because every item is there for a reason. Okay, more condolences to the person that love. I'm so glad to see so much love coming through the line. But I'm gonna thank you, Erin and Princess Gray, for putting this on. Much appreciated. Helen Brown. God bless you, Helen. Thank you so much for bringing your husband along as well. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us via our website. Our website, I should have put a slide, is vivonutrients.com, or Vivo, that's V-I-V-O, then nutrients.com. Or you can go to myhealthcaregroup.com and you'll get a lot of information on how to deal with the gut and how to deal with leaky gut and so many conditions that are associated with the gut, Lyme's disease, etc. Or you can go to our website, Go Juice Detox. We're available on Vivo Nutrients on Instagram. And you can also go to our channel on YouTube, where you'll see all of the testimonials from people that have gone through our program and used the products and had great results to share. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining and for taking time to spend an hour with us at the Vivo team. We are truly, truly grateful. We are grateful for you being proactive for the benefit of your health and your family. I hope you're able to take some notes. I hope you're able to take some interesting information, and I hope the information was able to empower you and uplift you, and more importantly, to inspire you to take action to preserve the longevity of your health. So thank you, everybody, so much. God bless you all for joining, and I will see you on the next one. God bless you. Take care now. Have a wonderful evening.